In June 2010, a big story hit the news about a surveillance clampdown on two neighborhoods in Birmingham with over 80 CCTV cameras, allegedly as an anti-terror strategy. This demonstrates very clearly the importance of things and objects, like cameras, in the context of community cohesion, polarization, and even radicalisation. But it's not only about cameras that matter in this context. It's also fences, walls, flags, lighting arrangements, bus stops, the orientation and design of buildings, even playgrounds and whole street layouts that matter. This is what we found in a project with the title The Urban Environment, Mirror and Mediator of Radicalisation? It ran between September 2007 and June 2010 and was funded essentially by taxpayers' money through the Economic and Social Research Council under the New Security Challenges program. The term urban environment in the title is deliberately broad and comprises anything from a cobblestone via a bicycle rack, even trees, buildings and streets. Basically anything material, visible, tangible around us. The title, as the title indicates, we wanted to investigate whether and how the urban environment mirror, reflects, or is an expression of socio-political conditions. From my personal experience in Belfast, where I used to live and work, I know that this is indeed the case. But we wanted to know whether similar phenomena can be observed in other cities. That's why we decided to compare the situation in Belfast and Beirut, almost as poster children of urban conflict, but also Berlin and Amsterdam. In Berlin, we were interested in neo-Nazi radicalisation, and in Amsterdam, we studied the situation in one particular district called Slotervaart, which is ethnically quite mixed with a large Muslim population and which has witnessed some quite violent and ethnically flavoured riots. The other key expression in the project title is the word mediator. It is simply academic speak for the idea that the urban environment has the potential, at least, to influence our perception and even our behaviour. Another word often used to describe this effect is the idea that things can nudge us in certain directions. But what does this have to do with community cohesion or its opposite, social polarization in cities? We found out that certain buildings, bridges, fences, and in roads can attract and in some cases even trigger trouble. And in many cases they contribute to the segregation of different social groups, which essentially keeps them apart and in turn keeps stereotypes about each other alive. But we also found evidence that certain spaces and buildings can bring people together. Be it, for example, the Intercultural Gardens in Berlin, or the Stewartstown Road Regeneration Project in Belfast, which is a building right at a so-called interface between Catholics and Protestants. It is accepted as what they called shared space by both communities because it caters to everyone's basic needs, with a small supermarket, a post office, clothes store, pharmacy, nursery and a cafe. And interestingly, the architecture of this building features certain design solutions that respond directly to this unique situation. But the key to this success is not only the building's architecture, but mainly the fact that it was developed through over 80 years of very intense bottom-up negotiations. So we can say that the design content is as important in the creation of shared spaces as the design process. Such findings allow us now to make a strategic contribution to the prevent strand of the UK government's counter-terrorism strategy. We do not only want to reach policymakers and academics, however. That's why we also develop a professionally curated exhibition in 4 different languages, which has been touring to all 4 case study cities, plus Exeter, London and Manchester, where the project team was based at the Manchester Architecture Research Centre. It can also be ordered for display in other locations. For more information about the exhibition and the project itself, of course, just go to www.urbanpolarization.org.